What is up? We are back and live. This is another episode of What's Your Grail. Of course, I'm your host, Tony Sanders, and my special guest tonight is ComicHead84.
ComicHead84 in the building. Tony, appreciate the invite, brother. Happy to be on one of my favorite shows. Talk about grails.
Man, I'm glad to have you on here, man. And if you do not know who ComicHead84 is, his link is in the description. He is the only so far champion winner of the hunt, the only person to ever beat JD, myself, and Jeffrey. That is a
I
hard
bring
thing
the
to
heat,
do.
y'all. I
Yeah.
bring the heat.
so, so yeah, man, like I've watched your show a few times. You know me, I used to sneak and just sit in like the chat and not say
Yeah.
nothing to you until the
You
very
thinking at
end.
the end and be like, yo, good show, guys. They'd be like, what? Tony was watching?
Cause I'll be checking y'all out, man. And it's like it's fun, man. It's like I look for new stuff all the time to watch. And like I said, I watched Townsend. If you haven't been watching his stuff, go watch his stuff. He's CGCing his stuff because he has kids in college and he's selling off his collection. So I don't know if he's like, I know he's CGCing it, so I don't know if it's like, if he wants to keep it in the community, if you hit him up, if he wants to sell a book or whatever. But he does have some books that he's showing that he's talking about selling.
Who did you say? What
Uh,
was his name?
Townsend Comics, like town, like
Okay.
Townsend. He's got a town.
Townsend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Robert Townsend.
yeah.
Let me write that.
So,
That's new to me.
so yeah, and then another dude I was watching was me and Jeffrey showed him on Bro Talk. If you go watch Bro Talk, their links are posted in Bro Talk. So, but yeah, they're too old to play with toys. He's another dude that I've been watching, and I enjoy his content too. And it's just like promote stuff in the community. Bake the Snake, killing it in the auctions. That's my bro, man. I gotta get Bake on the hunt. I gotta get Bake on Grails too. I gotta get Bake on the show because Bake. What's up, Bake, bro? Bake, he be killing it, man. So he be having some stuff. So Bake got to get on the hunt or get on something. I gotta get Bake on the show.
Yeah. Bake's a rising star in the YouTube game.
Oh man, so.
And we were just talking about how before we got on, me and Tony both trying to duck and dodge them end game spoilers, man.
Yeah. For real. I can't see that was what I was telling Comic Head about was I know this is your girls, but I'm just gonna talk about it real quick. Me and my wife were having kind of a at odds because I want to go see Endgame tomorrow, and I'm talking about I'm swooping the kids up from school. We're going, as soon as as soon as the first one comes up that I can go to, and she's like, no, this and that. They, if it's up to me, no school. It's a holiday. I've waited like 11 years almost for this, man, and it's like,
yes.
And she's just like, it's just a movie. I'm like, no, it's not just a movie. Just a movie is like that little movie that you want me to go see with you. That's just a movie. This is Endgame.
It doesn't help when I haven't seen any like in-depth reviews or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing enough that says best, like it lives up to the hype. Best comic movie ever. Like everyone is giving this thing the highest praise there is. So I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, I'm off all day tomorrow and I'm gonna be sick as a dog if I don't get to go see this one. And like I gotta do the hunt tomorrow, and that's another thing. And I told her, and she's like, well, why don't you go later? And I was like, I got a show, I gotta do the hunt. I'm not,
Did you say you're off work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm off work. Yeah.
Oh,
Chillin', what's up, bro?
If you got to solo soldier it up over there, man.
Man, I might have to play dumb and just be like, dumb. Like I'm going to the store real quick. 3 hours later. But yeah, so back to the show. I always start the show off. Usually I ask, what's your holy grail? So Comic Head, what is your holy grail, man?
Personally, so when we talk holy grail, I feel like that's not even anything to do with me. Like a lot of the grails I'm going to go through are my opinion grails. But I think when we talk holy grails, there's no opinion involved. It's the established holy grail. And I think there's only 3 holy grails, period. Action 1, Detective 27, first Batman.
Mhm.
And the third one, Captain America 1. I do not think that, I don't know if this is a hot take or whatever, but I do not think Amazing Fantasy First Spider-Man is a holy grail. It's not
Ooh,
old
you
enough.
go ahead. You gonna set everybody on fire out there. Don't let
Yo,
Reggie hear you.
dude, hear me out, right? Hear me
All
out.
right, no,
Action
go ahead, go ahead.
Comics.
But it's different. Like that's the whole concept of this show.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody. So explain to me why you feel that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. And I would dispute that and say, no, Holy Grail should not be different. Holy Grail should be universally accepted. But here we go. I agree. There's difference of opinion. But I say it's not Holy Grail. It's a grail, no doubt, obviously. But Action Comics, 1938. Detective Comics, 1939. Cap is 40s, 1942. Amazing Fantasy, 1962. It's in the 60s, so it's a more modern era book. Fantastic Four #1 came out before Spider-Man's first appearance in Amazing Fantasy. I know he's like a popular character and all. I think people put it in the Holy Grail because it's expensive. You know, I give you that. It's a pricey book, but even then, it ain't $1 million sales book like Action and Detective. I would put Wonder Woman's first appearance
Yeah, it goes
as a
for a
Holy
while
Grail.
too.
She don't get enough love, I don't think. It's kind of a weak first. Like her second appearance, I wish that was her first. That Sensation Comics 1 where she's on the cover. It's a nice cover, but her real first appearance is like she's not on the cover. It's like All Star Comics.
Oh yeah.
But even that's like 30s or 40s, 1930s or 40s. Those are the OG Holy Grails, and not amazing, not amazing.
See,
Fantasy.
so now y'all don't heard y'all. He threw the gauntlet down. So I'm not even gonna
Your boy
say.
Cap makes it, though, 'cause I feel like your boy Cap is
Yeah,
first the age of it, and he's when it comes to like Mount Rushmore iconic heroes, it's Superman, Batman, Captain America. I feel
like,
like
dude,
maybe Wonder Woman.
all right. So I was watching. I rewatched Avengers 1, just like just to see. Because I don't watch like go back and watch a lot of them, but I do sometimes. But I watched Avengers, and like to me, it was just like it still held up, But like the Cap parts, I love the Cap parts in it. And then like to me, one of the best Marvel movies, and I don't care what anybody says, was Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was just like too clean, and so I don't know, I liked it. But like this right here was like for a long time was always like my holy grail as a Cap collector was like this is like a book.
For Silver Age.
Yeah, First Silver Age. This is like a book I sought after and found, and like if you go back on my channel, there's like early videos of me just like going through the book and looking at it and stuff and messing with it, and sent it off, and it came back, and I'm just happy to have that one. And but now like whenever I like this right here is like really now more of my grail now, because it's like and it's like it was everything, dude. It was like everything I was looking for. It was like World War II cover. It was Alex Schlumberg. It was just you could see Cap, everything. It was everything. Bucky's on there, and it was just like everything that I was looking for. I was just like super happy to get this, and I was just like cool. And I was just like, so this is like my Cap grail. Like when it's well, I showed it on Instagram. If you've seen it on Instagram, it was like I had it like how I had it set up. That's how I have it. That's how I liked it. It was just like that's my grail order.
I'm like that with Batman. Like when it comes to Batman grails, any book from like that 1940s run of Batman is a grail to me. Even if there's not anything like particularly key about it, if it's like that 40s era Batman, automatic grail. If I was the only one.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at some Batman stuff, and it's just like, I'm like, ooh, man, I've seen this one book, and I don't talk about books a lot. You know, I don't like the list was like the first time, like if you've seen it on the Comic Core channel or whatever, the list is like the first time I talked about like anything that I'm looking for, and
Yeah.
because like I said, like my stuff is like weird because I'm a weird collector. I have no like preference like towards Marvel or DC. I like both. You know, like last time I had Booster Gold sitting back there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like Booster Gold. You know, I have Booster Gold 1 sitting up there. Um, I like different kinds of stuff. Like, I've got Invincible 1 right there, and like if you never read Invincible, that's to me that's a modern Grail right there, Invincible 1.
Yeah.
If you've
I know
never
that book has much respect. Is that Kirkman? Walking Dead Kirkman?
Yeah, Kirkman did, and it's signed by Kirkman too. You right there, you can see it right next to Invincible.
That's dope.
And
I gotta read that. Everyone always praises that book big time.
dude, it's like my kids, man, like my kids, like I was reading it, and then like they came along and started reading it, and they went like further into it and stuff, and then like when they got to the what was it? Was it Conquest? I think it was Conquest. That's what it was. The Conquest Saga, I think it was. But like anyway,
Is that an Invincible story arc?
Yeah. It's like, dude, that stuff's like it's crazy stuff in that whole. But Ryan, that's why I love Ryan Otley's artwork and stuff. That's why I love like Ryan Otley as an artist, like as a Grail, like he'd sign that book right there, Ryan Otley. But I got a book.
Who published Invincible? Is that Image?
Image, yeah. So it's like if you come across an event, like I said, if you come across an Invincible 1, hold on to that thing because, like, man,
you're saying look out for like fake me out #1s too, right?
Yeah. Because you have to have the see like the little white barcode right there. Yeah. If it doesn't have that, like they have like a whole bunch of different kinds, but if it doesn't have this little white barcode down here, then it's not a #1. Because like they can have like there's a skybound kind, there's another kind, but like people will get them signed and stuff, and then they'll put them up there for like like, oh, it's Invincible 1, and people will buy them because they're signed and think that that's the one, and it's not.
Huh. Collectible Paper said books don't count as a Grail unless Comichead has dropped it twice.
Oh,
hey, that's not necessarily true, but I have dropped most of my Grails.
so you got one you want to show
might be
us?
on the sub.
So you got a Grail you want to show us?
See, Tony Trombetta says All-Star 8 has to be on the Grail list. That's that first Wonder Woman. Yeah, I feel like that book doesn't get enough respect. Or just doesn't get brought up enough. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at with the Holy Grails. It basically just comes down to I put the Spider-Man first appearance in that cluster of on the same level as all those other Marvel first appearances. First Hulk, first Iron Man, Thor, that group, Fantastic Four, X-Men #1, and Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah, X-Men #1's on my list.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I feel you on that one.
Yeah, that one I really want. Because I guess if I was to I feel like at heart I am like you in the sense of I just like collecting cool shit, And
yeah, exactly.
Stuff that catches my eye, I'm down. And I was like that when I first got back into the hobby. And I noticed I'm just going after everything.
Yeah, because like when you get back in, it's like you're like, I gotta catch up, or and Reggie talked about that, and it's like I feel like the same way, It's like when I came back, I was like, dude, I don't have this, I don't have that, I gotta get and it's like if you don't pace yourself, you'll either end up sleeping in your car,
yeah,
or you'll just be like, you just gotta control what you're doing.
Yeah, because you'll either, like you said, you'll either overextend yourself money-wise, financially, or you'll end up with a collection of nice books, but you'll feel like, damn, I should have prioritized X, Y, and Z book before I got these, but I impulse bought, you know, shit
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So trying to fall back a little bit and be like, all right, let me try and prioritize my lane, because my lane, what I feel passionate about, is X-Men, Batman, and Silver Surfer and Galactus books. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm trying. That's why I'm doing an auction this Saturday, and part of the reason why I'm doing that is trying to move some books and put it towards a Silver Surfer 4, because that's definitely a grail for me. I guess you call it, I don't know if you call it a cover grail. It's a Silver Surfer grail, and I guess it's a cover grail.
That's the one with Thor and him fighting about the fight or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I've actually
JD represents on that book a lot, and yeah, it's I think I can like legitimately say it's the greatest comic book cover of all time, in my opinion. So need to get my hands on that.
I've actually looked at that before too.
You say you have?
Yeah, I've looked at one of those before too. Yeah, the Silver Surfer 4s.
Yeah,
but I'm
I
like,
pulled the trigger on one.
Like, but I won't ever get one unless like I talk to JD. I'll be like, yo, JD.
Yeah, I know he has multiple, I bet.
But then it's funny because it's like sometimes I won't talk to JD because it's like, or I won't talk to Jeffrey. I'm like, I don't want them to know what I got for the hunt. Screw that.
Yeah, right. That hunt pressure. I felt the hunt pressure. It's like, all right, I got to keep these books a secret.
Yeah, it is. It's like top secret. You can't like when I do my when I set my books up, I'm like, all right, make sure I don't have nothing up that I recently got.
Yeah, and I went hard. It was like a little bit of motivation to go like hard on my hunting for the hunt, because there's a couple books that I think I showed for the hunt that are actually in my Grail books. So why don't I start showing you some books, huh?
Yeah. Let's see what you get.
So why don't I just start out with, because everyone knows these because it's in the background of all my videos, and this was basically still is, I think, my big grail. Definitely the most I've spent on comics. I might as well just show the big boy first. The FF48. So
yes,
this was the one that when I got back into collecting, this was the one. Because I guess this might be kind of a unique set of books that I'm going to show, or just where I'm at with it, because I haven't been back in the collecting game that long. Like, my little origin story is reading and collecting as like a young kid, grade elementary school level. Once junior high hit, I was off for like 10 years plus. Then when I got back into it, I was just trades. I was just reading trades. Collecting wasn't really part of it. I just wanted to catch up on all the shit I missed story-wise. And it wasn't until like September of last year that I got into the collecting. So this is where a 6-month in collector is at with his grails. All right. Bang. This was the big boy on the list. When I first started, I was like, there's no way I'm going to drop that kind of dough. That's what a naive day one.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? It's like you sit there and think about it. It's like, no, I'm not. And it is like, dude, you're doing it. And I'd like to give a quick word of advice to Chad, 90MF in Comics. Congratulations on getting married, dude. Yeah. Now you have to have a balance, like how I have with my wife. If it's anything past $300, I need to talk to her.
Right.
So if it's anything over $300, I talk to her. So now the hindrance of this is that's the agreement I have with her. So she takes that agreement as in, oh, so if she wants to spend any money, as long as it's under $300, she doesn't need to talk to me.
Right.
So
it cuts both ways.
Right? Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword.
Does she have like a hobby or an interest that is like kind of equivalent to your comic collecting?
Dude, she has like those. She's like that house mom. Like she's like she works, but like like she does like that weird stuff. Like one time this is no lie, this is a true story. she had got into like her and her sister had started doing this like make your own oil bath bombs and oil classes and Scentsy stuff like this, right? And so at the time, like this is at the beginning of my collecting. So I was like, I was spending money and she wasn't, and she was spending money and I wasn't saying anything, and I was spending money and she wasn't saying anything, and she had spent like $300 on oils, and like we had like this whole thing of oils, like just like this case or whatever. Hey, what's up, Bueller? And so she decides to make a lavender bath bomb or whatever. And lavender is supposed to relax you. They put it in stuff for like kids to make them sleepy or whatever.
Yeah.
So she makes this lavender bath bomb thing and throws it in the tub. And I'm in the living room and I'm just like, just watching TV, and I'm like, the kids are doing stuff through the house or whatever, and like the house just fills up with lavender, and like it just strong. I mean, strong, real smell, and like I kid you not, dude, she knocked everybody out in the house with lavender because that's how strong it was. We were just like asleep. That's how we just like you got tired and sleepy and laid down and just went to sleep, and we all woke up the next day, and I was like, you're not allowed to make any more bath bombs.
She should have cooked up a spell. She made a sleep potion.
Yeah. You could have came like the dogs were asleep, I was asleep, she was asleep, the kids were asleep, and it was like and the stuff was in the tub still.
Whoa.
So yeah,
so she's a crafty one.
Yeah. So needless to say,
I see a lot of women. Yeah, there's a lot of women that are just into like crafts, but that can go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah. So, needless to say, that was like one of the experiences I had with her one of her hobbies.
Nice. Bueller said he's happy to hear Tony Sanders' bathtub story. Very nice. And by the way, I know Jeff wasn't here, but Comic Sam, what's up, brother? Gretzky, Biggie Shack's in the building, Bueller, Joe 47771, Chad, YouTube is 90. All the homies.
Yeah, good to have all y'all here.
Yeah, man. So yeah, FF48. It's definitely that like, when you're a day.
It was that one that you were looking for. It was like that one that was.
Yeah, but I didn't think I was going to do it. But it's you enablers on YouTube. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not that crazy. See, that guy spent the book. I'm like rationalizing it because I'm like, no one spends that kind of money on comics, right? Then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not that crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what my wife's always like, so what are you looking for this time? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, even the stuff that I said, that I'm looking for, I might find something that I don't even know that I want, so you never know. But
oh yeah, YouTube is good for that too. Finding out books about that you didn't know anything about.
Oh yeah, that is true too. Yeah. And it's like I said, I haven't been lately. I haven't been to any like local LCSs. I haven't been picking up anything new, anything. The last thing I picked up was that Alex Ross Detective 1000 thing, and that was it.
Oh yeah,
and that was just like dumb luck.
That was a good investment, right?
Surprise
investment. I was gonna ask you that if you still picked up new books or not.
I mean, like. I mean, I do, but like right now I'm not, because it's like I'm just trying to get stuff that I really want, and I mean, like there's series that I like to read, like the Avengers series. I enjoy that, and then I'm still trying to like get the Invincible story together for my kids or whatever. So that's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'll get that done eventually.
Shit. For new comics, there was a book that dropped that I'd almost call it like a cover grail. It was because I'm not a Star Wars guy. I don't own a single Star Wars comic.
Yeah.
And I haven't even really seen. To be honest, I haven't seen all the movies, right? But when I saw this, I was like, dude, that is the illest Darth Vader cover I've seen.
Who did that? That is cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But that's like some cover girl territory. Anyway,
shout out to the Great Legend.
Oh, Great Legend in the house. He says, yeah, read digital. I do a lot of digital reading just to keep up,
Yeah.
And this Wednesday that just passed, Doctor Strange became the, what do you call it? The Herald Supreme. So Doctor Strange just became the next Herald of Galactus in the
What?
Doctor Strange. Dude, it's dope.
What?
It's a dope series. So, boom, that's a great one. Speaking of Galactus, so I got the trio, right? Everyone likes this.
Yeah, everybody says that's the better one to have, though, because like he's on the cover.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, I guess, why they're saying that, but I still feel like it's the more iconic, but also it's underrated. Like there's like drama in this cover, like the water looking off screen, like something's coming. The coming of Galactus. Like, dude, don't sleep. That's a beautiful cover. But yeah, this one is definitely exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird that he's green, but
I lost a bid on one of those one day, and like it wasn't even like it was like one of those deals where it was like I should have bid harder, but I was just like I threw out a bid and I was like, oh, I thought I was going to win, and then got outbid at the last second, and I was like, oh man, I should have just bid more, but and then it's like
yeah, I was happy to get the the little trilogy. 50 is a nice classic Surfer cover. I think this is his first. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say first solo cover appearance, but no, I don't think, because the floating heads. Because my decision was either there was a dude at a local shop here that, like a consignment shop, my little secret spot, who had a FF48 for sale, a raw copy from the guy's collection that he does consignment with, and I was close. I was tempted, and I was basically at the spot I could buy this clean ass copy. He was saying it was like maybe a 9, or I could get mid grade because he's a 4.0 and 3 slabbed trilogy. And I was like, oh, what do I do? Luckily JD came in the clutch there, because I asked, because I knew he had a 48 and stuff, and I just hit him up for some advice, like, hey, here's the deal. I had all kind of pictures of that raw copy, and he was like,
so just one raw or either those 3.
Yeah, either a raw high grade 48 or 4.0 trilogy. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, I would have done the trilogy. The trilogy would have been like the
JD
steered you right. JD steered you clear on that one. See, that's why I talk to JD sometimes. I'm like, yo, JD, what do you think?
Yeah, and especially because I was tempted too, because it was an in-person buy. It was like rather than online. But anyway, luckily he had pictures, all kind of pictures of his raw copy that got slabbed 8.0. So I was able to compare and be like, shit, you know what? That one ain't no 9 if that was an 8. So it gave me perspective on grading, because I'm not that.
Yeah.
So bang, Silver Surfer. Continuing on my Silver Surfer grails. This one, I still got a soft spot for this one. My Silver Surfer 1, I got it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't nothing wrong.
3.5, baby.
Long as you got it, man. Like, look, long as you got it, player. Like,
I feel like I'm gonna.
I got this one. Like, that's what I don't know, man. Like, to me, it's like you got it. It's there. I see it. We can all see it. It's there. Some people.
Yep. Straight up.
Some people,
I kind of like that it's because that's the craziest grade. I don't know anyone that has a green label 0.5. That's a reckless slab, but I like it.
I mean, heck,
I think I will upgrade.
It's well for a 0.5.
Yeah, it actually doesn't look too bad. I'll eventually upgrade, but I'm still gonna. I think I'll just keep this one forever because I get a kick out of it.
And that's what it is. It's like you can take like That's why I'm doing the 1. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have like a 1.5, just like a whole cool, just like this collection of 1.5, and just like it's all gonna present well. I'm gonna post it on Instagram when I'm done doing it.
Yeah, right.
And people will be like, "He's crazy." I'll be like, "That's right."
That's it, man. Let me see.
But they're all upgradable though. That's the whole thing though. It's like as long as you have like it's a grade, but it might be a low grade, but still there's people that don't have a grade that'll be like, oh, because they'll be in the position that you were in, because you didn't have the book and you're looking for it. And, you want to upgrade yours, and they'll be like, oh well, like I learned like the Bueller book, as I call it, Bueller's X-Men '94. It used to be
variant.
yeah. It used to be Alex the Comic Hoarders. And Bueller was gonna buy it, but I bought it for Bueller, for myself, for me, and gave it to me as it's me and Bueller's book, but I keep it at my house.
I thought that was an eBay snipe. That was
no, it was Instagram. Instagram. Because I hit up Alex, and I was like, dude, because he was selling it for like it was like $125, and I hit him up and I was like, dude, what's your PayPal? What's your PayPal? And yeah, so it was kind of a funny deal, and I didn't know, but I didn't know Bueller was trying to buy it at the time. I didn't know. I was trying to buy it. I was like, I wanted it, and like if you go to Alex Comic Hoarders channel now, he has his upgrade, which the book that he had, I bought because I didn't have one. So he took the money that I gave him and used it to help get his upgrade. So it's like, as long as you have like, if it's a 0.5, a 1.5 or whatever, it's a stepping stone. That's all it is. Really, it's a stepping stone if you want to go up, If you're happy with what you got, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and there's 0.5s, 1.0s that present nice, man. Like,
dude, this book right here, like when I got this book is from 1944 with this part missing still. It's still, look at the color on that.
Yeah.
Like it just presents just super nice. So it's like, and it's a 0.5. So I'm not going to complain, dude. I mean,
the only thing that I can't get into, like as far as low grade being better than no grade, I respect all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot see myself buying a coverless copy.
Okay, I understand that one. I can understand that one. And
I feel like it's got to be complete, man.
But like this goes back to like who was I talking to? And they were saying like, was it JD? I think JD was saying. I think it was JD. But I was talking to somebody and they were saying like that you could get a good coverless copy and then turn around and get like a decent cover, and
like just buy the cover.
Yeah, well, get a cover or whatever you get and marry it together and get either a restored grade or was it a green grade or whatever? But either way, but it's just like it just depends like on how you want to do it. But I understand where you're coming from, though. If you don't want to get a coverless book or whatever.
Yeah, that's more of a personal thing, personal choice, I think. But
what if it was but ComicHead? What if it was a Captain America #1 coverless, but you could afford to get it and it was there? Would you not get it?
Oof. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. It messes with the presentation hard.
I know.
Really hard, man.
That's a good question though, and that is like to me, like I always go back and say these books are history. Like when you get like an old school book, or like a golden age book or a silver age book, that's history books. Those are books that people have had before you, and now it's your turn to have them. So, and that's what some of the and so like when you use the term Grail, sometimes you could interpret that as like you could use that towards Grails because it's been moved around, it's been loved, it's been cherished, taken care of, and now it's yours.
Yeah, that's true. Because I'd like to get into a little bit of like Grail definition too in a minute. I wanted to at least acknowledge our boy Tony Trambetta posed the question. Is there a comic newer than the Silver Age that has the potential to be a holy Grail? And Silver Age ends in what 60? No, is it 70s? Let me see. I should know because it's the year of this book. Right? This is when the Silver Age ended?
Yeah.
Beginning of the Bronze Age?
I gotta get one of those too.
Yeah,
get one of those.
So I don't know, man. As far as newer in this book's era, I mean, I guess
like the thing closest right now, what would you say, like the Pulp 181 or whatever?
Yeah, 181. I don't think there's another book that has a better chance of accomplishing that than 181. Yeah.
Because I mean, people are going. I mean, especially like when they do like an actual movie.
Yeah. Do
They
it right.
like a actual X-Men movie and stuff. But man, like the only thing that would kill me though is like no Hugh Jackman. I'd be like, if there's no Hugh Jackman, I'd be like, man.
Oh yeah. I'm cool with it, man, because he's way too fucking handsome to be Wolverine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he did it great. He was probably one of the best parts of those X-Men movies. So I'm only teasing a little bit when I say that, but I'm definitely welcome to see like a new rendition, more savage, short, make him shorter, and like not like this. He's does Broadway sing show tunes, bro.
Oh man! Oh, you killing me! You killing me! Yeah.
Right,
Okay. Yeah. Kenny Kyle Walker said Giant Size X-Men. Yeah, that might be another one too. That is true because it is going ridiculous right now too.
But that's still Silver Age though, isn't it? Or is that a Bronze Age book? Giant
I
Size?
mean, it's considered like modern because like mine, I just sent mine off and like they just did it as like a modern. It didn't even come back like any other thing else.
Oh, okay. Oh, in that case, yeah, that's definitely a good answer.
Yeah, Giant Size X-Men, Hulk 181. Yeah. I don't know, man. And then like a book that I say that would have some stand, like not saying it's a holy grail, but I'm just saying like that would be like a modern one that's gonna hold up. Is that Detective 880? Because like, dude, every time I go look for that thing, it's just even like what's that the black foil or whatever it is. Those are stupid, ridiculous, and then like if they're signed, they're crazy ridiculous. And it's like that's a book that's just like it was just such a unique and rare cover that it's just like when you see it, you automatically know what it is. So that's gonna be one of the ones that like later on I think that'll still be like around.
That one looks great signed too. Like Chad 90MF has that signed in red ink or red marker, and it looks so clean. I'm not too big on signed books, but ooh man, that's like looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm not big on signed books either. I don't know what. No, I'm playing. But I do like signed books. I like signed books. Like I don't know, man. Signed books. Sometimes, like I said, those can be like signature grails. Like if you want that, like a signature of that person, or if you just want like if it's a certain artist that you like or whatever. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you get it, one thing's for sure is if you go and get it signed yourself and you meet the person, I totally dig that. But I don't think I would. I would, but there's rare, more rare cases where I would just buy a pre-signed book, just off someone else who got it signed. But
yeah.
So here's my signature grail. I barely have any signed books, right? But here's my where is it? Right, it's a big boy. Watch out. My 2 X-Men ones, signed by Claremont.
Man, that's clean though. I like the Magneto cover. I always have.
Dude, that's my favorite one of the bunch, dude. Is that one? What I would really like to do to make this a straight up signature grail is to have X-Men ones double signed by Claremont and Jim Lee.
Man,
that would blow my mind. I mean, I wouldn't even worry about anything certified because this was like before I got back into the collecting bug. I just went with my cousin to a con and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Claremont's there. Oh, I got some X-Men ones." Like when I think of it now, that I'm in the mindset collector, I'm like, "Oh, what a minute, dude!" Neil Adams was there, and I didn't even bring anything. I didn't even think to get anything signed by Neil Adams.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like you when you go down, it's like, oh, is CGC gonna be there? Is there a witness? Who could I get? It's like, what signatures can I get? Da da da. If you go, and it's like now it's like if you go like that, and it's like like when I went to C2E2, it was that way. I was just like, you know, oh, I need a witness, and I had a fun time though. But like, it's just like crazy though, like how they do it. It's just like, you know, they follow you around, and you have to follow them around if they lose sight of you. Like, and I've told you, like that one dude, like the one guy when Ryan Otley was signing the book that I had, like, and it's like it's 51, and it's the homage to this Invincible one, and it looks just like this, but it's drawn by Ryan Otley, and Ryan Otley signing it, and the dude's not even watching, and he's just like talking to somebody else. And I'm like, hey, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, that must have hurt a little bit.
It was like, dude, like, I'm like, you're supposed to be my witness for this, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've only had one experience of a witness. Was that third-party company, and I had a bad experience. Luckily, I got the book. There's still one more book that I'm waiting for, but they basically came back. But I had a rough experience. Oh
wait, did you send it off to get it? Like, are you saying you sent it off to get like a signature, and like they still haven't sent them all back or something?
Yeah, it was those turtle books. I think I showed a couple of them on the hunt.
Yeah.
That company. Yeah, it was the third party. I'll put them on blast. Planet Awesome Collectibles.
Oh, stop!
I know, and you said you had a good experience with them before, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say about that is, I'm not saying they're straight crooks or anything because I got the books, right? Well, most of them, but I think I understand why. But there was just zero communication for months and months and months. I just wanted to be acknowledged because they didn't give me a receipt or anything.
Yeah,
so
I would say this. Yeah, like when I kept communicating, like they would say that, and then like the dude told me one time, he was like, "Oh, it kept going under spam, your emails," and I was like, "Why is it under spam?" And he was like, "Oh," and then they finally like they communicated back a couple times, but like it was just like, I know where you're coming from,
dude. You know what I ended up fucking doing to get something done? I started Instagram DMing, right? And I had a dude's cell phone too. I was calling, leaving him voicemails. I ended up DMing the Instagram thing because I went onto their eBay page, and they have a ton of negative feedback about I never got my books, this and that. It took a long time, yada yada. So I started screenshotting that, and I was DMing them all the bad reviews from eBay.
man.
And I was like, I ain't gonna be another one of these, yo. Where's my books? Comic
kids, and I'm calling them out. Hold up.
I got fired up. But anyway, that did it because coincidentally the next week I got my books. So that's all I'm gonna say.
That's cool.
I call it like I see it. Here's my Batman Grails. Those are my Silver Surfer Galactus. I guess my biggest, most valuable Batman Grail is the first Harley, 8.5.
And see, that's what the books are. Like, I kick myself. Like, that's like a book where you wouldn't think that would be like, because the show was good, but you wouldn't think that book would be like a relevant book. But lo and behold.
Yeah. And dude, talk about dumb luck. I have a special spot for this one because this was part of my childhood collection. Because there's not that many books that I have that are still part of my childhood collection. And because none of them were anything really significant, right? But I was a fiend for the Batman animated series. I have the whole run, all like 36 issues. So I had this one. Yeah, when I got back into collecting a little bit and I started watching YouTube videos, I kept on seeing this book in the background of people's videos, like collectors. I'm like, why the hell do they have that random ass book? I got that. Why is that in so many people's backgrounds of their videos? So I started looking up and I was like, oh, damn. So that was cool. Definitely a big Batman fan, Harley Quinn. So it was good for that one. This one, so, less gray. Like, I don't have that many big grails. But this one was up there because until recently, it was the oldest Batman book I owned. Silver Age Detective Comics.
It's messed up. I had my buddy's shop. He had one of those, and I was like, I skimmed past it, and I was like, and I knew what it was, but like, covers.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you don't remember what you know it for, and it's like I was like, I remember that for some reason. And I passed through it, And like I went home and I was like, I went home and I thought about it and I was like, and then you showed that book and I was like, oh, that's at my buddy. And I was like, it's at my buddy's shop. I go back and I can't find the book because he moved the
Ooh.
box and he's got like all these. If you ever seen like pictures or like video, there's like a couple of videos where I show like some of the stuff in his store. Like he has like just boxes galore, and it's like, dude, he buys like collections, and he doesn't know what he has. And sometimes I'll pull stuff out that he didn't know he had, and he'll be like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "You got two of these, I remember like he gave me the Batman New 52 #1. He gave it to me because he was like, here you go. I got
Ooh, that's a nice one. That one's like, I see that one going for like $100.
Yeah, he's like, I got two of them. Here's one. I was like, cool.
Yeah, I want that one. Hey,
But,
just kind of like low grade's better than no grade. Second appearance is better than no appearance, right? If you can't get the first.
Exactly. You can't get the, because dude, like, all right, I got Invincible 1. The first book I bought from this dealer, he was on eBay, and the dude was like, I bought more stuff from this guy because that's how good his books were. But I bought Invincible #2 because he had it. He didn't know what it was. Like, he had like these Golden Age books, like Silver Age books, and like these cool, like, like Bronze Age books and stuff. But like, and he had a couple of modern books, and he had Invincible 2, and he had it for like, I want to say like $40. And I was like, I was like messaging him. I was like,
Yeah.
Hey, can I get that? And he's like, do you still have it? And he's like, yeah, I still have it. And so like, I was like, can I, buy it outside of eBay, or do you want to do PayPal or whatever? And he was like, we can do PayPal. And so I did PayPal with him or whatever, and I bought the book, got it, sent it, and and it's in one of my early videos. Like if you go on my channel and just look at all my crappy videos at the beginning, but it's in one of my unboxings that I did, and it came back like a 9.6, and like I was so happy. I was like, because like nice. I didn't have the first appearance, and I was like, and I didn't know if I'd ever get it. And so that, to me, at the point, like what you said was, if you can't get the first, get the second appearance. And that was like,
you got to come up with a good rhyme for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rhyme is, but
yeah.
Just like I bought like I have Fantastic 447. I remember I bought that one before I got my 48. I was like, yo, I got 47.
Yeah.
For my Batman Grails, I'm a big like my favorite Robin is Damian Wayne. So Damian Wayne's first appearance.
Like, oh yeah, 9.8. That is cool though.
Yeah, 9.8. I hate the those old labels irk me still a little bit. So, dude, this thing is so thin, dude.
Yeah, like sometimes you get a case you can tell automatically it's an old case. You're like, oh, this is old.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
Like, see, like this one right here. This is an old case. This is, I can tell. This is when I hold it because it's just like old.
Yeah, I feel like if I grip it too tight, I'm gonna crack it.
Yeah, like this one feels like. And yes, people, this is a Spider-Man spec villain that you can get without spending an arm and a leg. It's the first appearance of the Beetle. So if they ever use Beetle and Spider-Man, pick it up. It is
he was part of Thunderbolts too, no?
Yeah.
The Beetle.
But yeah, that's an old school case though. Like you can, that's weird.
What up, Gorilla Grodd? Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, Biggie Shaq.
Nothing too crazy, but for a while, he was my favorite Batman villain. Bane, Bane's first appearance.
Oh yeah.
9.6. I'm down with 9.6s, man. If the jump is too much between a 6 and an 8, I'm like, yo, I'll get the 6.
Sometimes, man, the jump is crazy. Like sometimes if he's like a 9.8 to a 9.6 or whatever, it's a crazy jump. Yeah. And it's just like depends on the book, I guess. It's like,
yeah, sometimes I think it's unwarranted,
Yeah.
Another Batman Grail was one that I showed on the hunt.
Neil Adams.
Yeah, man. I mean, talk about cover Grail. I mean, this is as far as like top 5 cover Grails or top 10 cover Grails, period. I feel like this one has a spot on that list. you know. And I
Oh
guess
yeah.
it's kind of, because you know how there's a lot of Silver Age first appearance of a lot of Batman's rogues gallery, you know. I think this would be Joker's modern appearance, for because he was gone for a while. I don't know what his last appearance was before this issue, but I know he was gone for a minute. So that one, and then this is the first Silver Age Penguin appearance.
With the dragon.
Yeah, what an oddball cover, right? So there's a dragon on it. I got the little three. I got his first 3 appearances in the Silver Age. That's his second appearance.
Now, I'm gonna ask this because like a lot of people don't know this Batman trivia, but if you do not know, Batman and Robin used to have a room together with like it was separate beds, but they were in the same room, something like that. It was some weird thing like that. But they had a room together basically.
Okay.
And like people, like no, this is a serious thing. This is a real thing.
In the comics or in the
in the comic, yeah, in the comic,
okay.
yeah. So it's like supposed to be like a real deal thing, and I was just like, and I don't know how long it, but like I remember hearing this and seeing this, and I was like, what? I was like supposedly like yeah, they had like a room together or something like, and they had like beds in the room or whatever, and I was like,
there definitely is something weird about the way they wrote some of that stuff. Like there's a few covers where they do it a lot in the issue too, of like Robin being jealous of Batgirl, taking Batman's attention away from him, shit like that. Well, you know, Batman's getting married. There's a comic that I have where he's like an old flame comes back and she's trying to get him to get married, and like Robin's like a little too jealous. It's weird. Like I don't know why they do that.
oh
Yeah,
man,
old school Batman stories are a little nutty. Once Batman came into, because I'll admit a lot of like the old Batman reads are not great. This is my favorite cover though of that little. His third appearance is such a fire cover. Like those old school Batman reads, they're kind of rough, but man, once he came into like the modern era, Neil Adams and all that, Batman's got some of the best stories.
yeah. Now see, I liked whenever they did the Penguin on with Danny DeVito when he did the Penguin on with the Batman Returns. Yeah,
Dude, me too. I listed like my top DC movies with a D-Runk a little while back, and Returns was number 2 on my list. I couldn't put it above Dark Knight. It was just too good. But number 2 was Returns. I love Batman Returns. The way they did Catwoman and Penguin was like,
oh yeah,
killed it for me.
It was good.
Yeah, DeVito killed that. This one is kind of a. So I guess I'd almost have a category for like. This is like a cover grail and also like a story grail, with the Killing Joke, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, this one's compliments of Comic Books NYC. I bought this one off of him. I think he upgraded to a 9.8 or wants to. So that one, another excellent cover, but excellent story. And
I almost pulled the trigger on that thing like 3 times. Almost.
yeah. And this next one is almost like, I'd almost call it like a story grail. Like the comic's kind of valuable and it might rise in the future, but it was such an iconic story for me that I think the number 1 is a grail. Watchmen. Watchmen 1.
Dude, yes, I want Watchmen 1. That's another.
Yo, it's grail status, man. I don't care.
Yeah, I like Watchmen. That's like a book that I enjoy. My kids enjoy. My kids love the movie. My kids love like anything Watchmen. Like they like, and it's like I don't know. I've never like had that book, but I've always like looked to get that book.
Yeah, this is one that a lot of people have the trade, but not the single issues. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like you probably read it on a trade, right?
Digital.
Yeah. And we'll see, man. I mean, the idea of an HBO Watchmen show is interesting.
Well, the movie, like everybody gives the movie crap, but like to me, the movie still holds up. I liked it. I still like watching it. You know, like now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you watch like the regular version and then you go watch like the actual like the way the director wanted it done, dude, it's two different movies.
Yep. I think that the music, the soundtrack sometimes was a little overdone. Like sometimes shit like that. But other than that, I mean, what more do you want? He made a pretty damn faithful, rendition of it.
Oh yeah.
Gorilla Grodd asking what grade is the Eternals back here, and I have that back here because I want to pose a question to you. So here's the Eternals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eternals 1, and I got this for spec, right? I never read the Eternals. I don't really give a shit about the Eternals, to be quite frank. I got on the spec train. You know what I mean? Now, right now, no one would consider this a Grail, right?
No,
That's fair
not
to
right
say.
now. No.
But tell me this: if, say, Eternals drops, and it's the most fire MCU movie that they made, right? They nail it, kill it. It's better than Endgame, and like there's Eternals mania. Like, oh shit, we love. I don't even know. I was about to say one of their names. I don't even know. We love this, Icarus. We love Icarus, yo. Would that retroactively turn this into a Grail? You know what I mean?
And that's like a thing. It could happen, because like that's the media and like popularity, and it could push it to do that, And it's like that's how, like right now, our books fluctuate off of movies and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And it's like this book, whenever they do the Amazon Prime rated R cartoon, I mean, it's probably gonna go up even more. It's ridiculous to get right now in itself, and it's like so that's like that, and then you had like what 300 whenever Venom first came out. It spiked real high, and it's kind of back down where it's at before, but it's like, and like somebody was saying that it was like somebody in the chat was saying that 300 would be a grail, and yeah, 300 is a grail. Yeah, I consider it a grail because like it's not easy to find. If you find one in the wild,
yeah, I don't have one.
Kudos to you. If you find one in the wild, great for you. But like, I had to buy mine. And if you've never seen the review, if you've never read the story, I did the review and I did all the voices.
Okay, I might have to check it out. Yeah, I haven't read it.
So if you never read the book, if you have a slab copy or you've never read 300, on my channel, there's a review where I actually read the book and then I do the unboxing and show the book, which is this book up there. So, but yeah,
and you know what? I think Joe had a good answer. I like the way he worded it. Of when I kind of posed like, no one really considers this a Grail now, but if the movie blew up and it was so good, would it be looked at more in that light as Grail? And he said it'd be a Grail for new buyers.
Oh yeah,
which is probably right. People are new to the hobby, and they're like, "Oh shit, Eternals! I love Eternals." It would,
and they would make it push it to be a Grail, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and say you define Grail as, because say you get into the definition of a Grail, I say it's like a very notable comic, I guess, or historical. And you can make a case that this book is very important, very iconic. All that milestone, first blow up, independent character, basically, right? Like,
but you could also say the same thing about Youngblood's one.
What do you say? Youngblood's one?
Yeah. Because if it wasn't for Youngblood's one, there'd be no Spawn.
Yeah.
Because that was like Image's first. Like, if you remember, that was Image's first book they dropped was Youngbloods, and it was like there was really like it was like a flip book, like there was like half a story on. I don't even think it was half a story. I think it was like a quarter of a story on one side and a quarter of a story on this side, and it was just like Rob Liefeld action here, Rob Liefeld action here, and it was like, and it sold ridiculously, but like
yeah,
and it's like
those first books that came out from Image, those are, I don't know. I think they
I mean,
definitely
they're iconic to me. That I mean,
notable books.
like I literally have. You can't see it because the light's kind of dim, but like right there is Wildcats #1 signed by Jim Lee, and that is a book to me that is iconic because it's Jim Lee's own. Like, hey, this is my stuff. This is my actual real stuff, and
Right.
like to me, that's like iconic. Jim Lee's like the man to me, so like that's cool. And I went to C2E2, got Mark Silvestri to sign Cyberforce 1, and not Cyberforce 1, the ongoing series, Cyberforce 1, the miniseries, which he was ecstatic to see because he was like, oh, this is old school. And I was like, cool, because he knew what it was. You know, it wasn't like Cyberforce 1, it was like the miniseries, like, you know, the actual series.
Nice. Yeah, I like that little mission that you're on of getting those all signed.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame that, like, I guess that's the 90s for you, but it's too bad that they just brought rockstar artists over and started Image. They didn't really be like, all right, let's bring some rockstar writers too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, they had like all the firepower. You know, it was a glass cannon. You know, it was like they could aim it anywhere they want and like, you know, just throw stuff up against the wall and people would buy it because of the art and like story be damned.
Yeah, that's why they don't hold up good, you know. So, which is kind of disappointing. Let's see. Mr. Garrel's in the house. Arsenio Ramos still got his copy of Cyberforce, he says. Let me show you the first slab that I ever bought when I got back in. It's a Grail to me. And I think other people might. I don't know. It's an X-Men Grail. The first slab I ever purchased was Gambit. First Gambit. It's old case, you know.
Oh, yeah.
6. And so when I got this, I never held a new case either. You know what I'm saying? So I got this and I was like, oh wow, it's like it's so fancy, you know, because I never held a slab before.
Yeah.
Like, it's so nice. And then I got whatever my next slab was, and it was in a new case, and I was like, oh shit, like this thing is cheap compared to that. So I got my Gambit. Oh, you know what? That's right. I'm gonna debut a Grail book on your show here.
Uh-oh.
I got a book earlier this week, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna hang on to this thing and show it off with Tony. John's Comics for Kids in the building.
Hey, what's up, John?
Can he drop anything yet?
Arsenio and Cachon, you are right, brother.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, he's right on that one.
So just like I had said that Batman Detective issue, second Batgirl, was, you know, very key to me because it was the oldest Batman book in the collection. I now have the oldest X-Men book in my collection, and it's X-Men number 16.
Oh,
the oldest book has arrived. Nice yellow cover. I don't see people.
is that the third or second appearance of the Sentinels?
It's first appearance of Master Mold.
Okay.
You know,
I can't remember if it's third or second. I know they had the one. It might be. I can't remember if it's third or second, one or two. But yeah.
It must be something like that. I know the only like keynote that I saw on it was the Master Mold thing. But yeah, man, getting into the teens, trying to inch up to, that would definitely be a Grail list.
Jump on that like, 1 or 2 and stuff. Like, what's weird is like X-Men 1 is just so, oh my goodness. And then it's like X-Men 2 is like, you can get one.
Is that right? I never really price checked.
Yeah, you can get X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is not really hard to get. X-Men 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
X-Men 2 has a week.
And it's like I'm never one to say you can't ever get anything because it's like you never know. So it's like it just looks like it is. So it's like if you just like
right, you can make things happen. I never thought I was gonna make the FF48 trilogy happen. But especially if you're willing, you know, to trade off some of your collection, you know, if it's important to you, then you can make it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, 16. Biggie Shaq's first Sentinel was 14. So yeah, it's only 2 issues after First Sentinel. Or was it 12? I don't know. So yeah, boom. Very happy. It's in nice shape too. It's
So
in
probably
high grade.
parents then.
Got that one off Instagram.
What's funny is my first appearance of Gambit. You know where I got that from?
Your first Gambit? No, where'd you get your first Gambit?
Yeah. Where did I get all my books from?
Who, Alex?
Yeah. Yeah. It's from Alex. Yeah, my Gambit's from Alex Comic Corner. I actually bought. He was doing an auction, and I bought it off him. I bought that in Nova #1 because it came like together or whatever. But I bought those.
I like that book. Yeah, I like Nova 1. I like it as a spec book too. I think it's a good bet.
And see, like my kid, like that's one of his favorite too is Nova.
Yeah. Your kid's like Nova and Moon Knight, right?
Yeah. No. Well, that's my my one son, Keegan.
Man.
Keegan, he likes Nova and Moon Knight together. So it's like,
yeah.
But Moon Knight's like one I've been working on Moon Knight for him, and then like Nova, we got Nova #1. He's got like a 6.5. But like I was thinking about getting him like a signature series, but then it was like, I don't know. But he was totally mad though. I remember he was totally mad like at the end of Infinity War whenever Fury turned into the sand or whatever, and then like the pager fell. He was like, he seen the symbol. He was like, "Oh, Nova, yeah." And I was like, "Son," I was like, "No, son, that's Captain Marvel." He is like,
"Yeah,
like really?" I was like, "But like I said, I told him I was like, if they do Nova, you know, if they put him in the Marvel universe, you know, they might do Sam Alexander," and he was like, "That dude sucks." He does not like Sam Alexander, and I'll say it before and I'll say it again. We don't like Sam Alexander. We like Dick Ryder.
Dick Ryder, baby.
Dick Ryder, die. Dick Ryder Nova.
Yeah, man. I think that's the kind of like
the Nova Corps, man. It's just like they said, it's like the Green Lantern,
right,
of Marvel, basically. And like, this is like another, like people would consider a Grail, like, and like,
yeah, for sure.
Because I got this, like, well, like I said, I got it because like, obviously Thanatos had one, and like, you know, and like I've been more and more getting into the Green Lantern, so it's not going to be Showcase 22 or whatever, but I'll get Green Lantern 1 at least, you know.
And you want to make sure you drop the hammer on me on the hunt too. So you said, let me get the Green Lantern so I can drop the people's elbow on him. Yeah, I've never seen that book actually before you showed it, to be honest.
And it's like, the only person I ever knew that had it was Thanatos, which was, and this one, like, these are, I don't know, I wouldn't consider these Grails, but like I just like the story, and it'd be like more of a story Grail, I guess, because you know this is just like just an iconic cover. I
was thinking of pulling that for my story Grail. I have the one after though with the Sentinel, but I agree.
I'm like, I just always love the cover to that, and just like the story, man. It's like, I don't know, like if you ever read it, it's kind of like sad because it's just like you think it's like depressing, kind of like, you know, and it's like, and then like that's.
Oh, you got a signed one. Nice.
Yeah, by Chris Claremont, that one's signed. But like, yeah, that, I don't know, man. It was just like a depressing story, like, but it was just like this one and what is it? God Loves, Man Kills. That's another one.
Oof. I haven't read that one yet, man. That
Dude,
novel. I want to read that. For story Grails, and like indie stuff. I got a couple, I guess, indies that would be grails for me. My Why the Last Man #1.
Everybody keeps pulling that out.
Yeah, it's kind of an indie story grail. I wish it was a little higher grade, but you know, it's got that white strip, which is tough. But the back cover is a little funky. I think it got wet at some point, but I got it mad cheap, so I'm still happy to have it. So I got Why Last Man. Another indie series that I think is epic is Black Hammer. I got Black Hammer #1, 9/8.
Yeah.
This is the cover B. Jeff Lemire. He's a prolific writer, man. He writes a lot. Jeff Lemire's got a lot of hits. Like the book that John and White Whale were doing yesterday, Ascender. I think that's a Jeff Lemire series. Well, the original one was. Anyway, he's written a lot of stuff. This is a great series. Black Hammer. You ever hear of that book?
Oh, Kacho was like, I've heard Black Hammer. No, I was telling
Yeah.
the Kacho was like, I thought you meant a grail with the story rather than no, like when I say story grail, it's like, you know, the story is actually really good to me. It's like it'd be like a grail of a story, basically. Like I have the book for the story itself. Like that's why I have it. Which would be like this. Yeah, here it is. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, this book right here. God Loves, Man Kills. That is a great story right here. This story right here. This will make you just be like, whoa, like, you know, just like the way that they like just show like how much they are hated and like how much like this, like, you know, they want to kill them. Like they just like if they did like this, if they did the story like that, if Marvel did like a story like that, if Disney would let them cut loose and do that story, that would be like a great way to start off the Marvel universe for the X-Men. Because you could be like, bam. They're like hated, feared, but they're, you know, it's just like, that's the great story right there. Like, if you've never read
What made X-Men so good, man, for me. It's like, it was just way different than the normal superhero stuff you were seeing, you know? Hated by people. And it was more of like, I heard someone say, you know, Justice League is more like a team going to work to go do a job, and X-Men is more like a family that gets into adventures or whatever. But yeah, Justice League seems like co-workers, X-Men seems like family. So yeah, I love me some X-Men. I think this is a story grail, Batman Year One.
Oh yeah.
You know, first couple issues of that. Ready? Here's. I'll show a couple more. I don't want to keep you too long. I think we just went a little over an hour.
Oh, okay.
Sentimental grail, right? Would be. Usually it's books that are like one of my first few books in childhood. The first comic I ever got was this one. Bought it in the Stop and Shop spinner rack.
Eric Larson, baby.
Yeah, Larson was my first Spider-Man. What up, Rod? Just a Rican. Yeah. So
yeah, it's like at that time, it's either you were McFarlane, Larson, or Bagley. That's the three that I knew. Like if you came in and watched, like between the '90s and the early 2000s, if you were going to like do Spider-Man or whatever, it was like those three were the ones that you either knew.
Right. Of those three, Bagley is my favorite Spider-Man artist.
I mean, he's like one of the most underrated ones. Like to me, he's like because like the stuff he did, like dude, like his new Warriors run was so good. Like because his team dynamic that he draws, like, you know, he's good at drawing multiple people on screen, like, or on paper or whatever. So
dude, you just said the magic word, because here's a personal grail. Personal grail for me is Thor 412, first appearance of New Warriors.
Yes, man. I know you see my New Warriors #1 signed by Stan Lee, right?
Yeah, I have seen that. I like that. Nice.
I was like,
Yeah, man. I love me some New Warriors, bro. First appearance of Night Thrasher.
yeah, that's my
Night
team, boy.
always my guy.
Like I like Speedball. I like Nova. Nova's always been like my kid. Like, dude, like it's crazy. Like that I liked Nova so much that my kid grew up to like Nova.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. New Warriors are underrated. I made a point to grab this one just to show that New Warrior love.
That is a good buy.
One before that is like I guess it's their first cameo appearance.
Yeah, with the hammer
on the cover.
Yeah, was the one that went crazy whenever Deadpool was like, oh, like Thor 411.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I went with that one. Just nice first team cover appearance, first full appearance. So yeah, that ASM was my first comic, and this one is kind of a grail for me. Annual 3, because I had the Marvel Tales version of this comic, like growing up as a kid, one of my first handful of comics, and I read the shit out of this comic, the Marvel Tales one, like forever. And it was so funny, like, because it's just a cool story of Spider-Man trying out for the Avengers. And they're like, well, the initiation is he has to go whoop Hulk's ass and bring him back to Avengers Tower. They wanted to capture him, and like, it's just a funny thing the way it plays out. But for the longest time, I didn't even really know it was a reprint. I just thought Marvel Tales was its own series. And then when I got back to collecting, I was like, oh shit, there's an original one of that. So I was like, I gotta get that. So, and I just love this cover too. Underrated cover. I love team splash covers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Annual 3, which in this first comic I bought, that this is what started my fascination with She-Hulk. Because I love me some She-Hulk, man. I got lots of She-Hulk stuff. So I was happy.
Yeah, that just went through the roof. Didn't that just spec out and go crazy and stuff?
Yeah, I'm glad I freaking copped this one before everyone started jumping on it. So, yeah, man. She-Hulk is freaking awesome.
All right.
Yeah, buddy.
I just want to see what kind of show they're going to do with her, see how good it is.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious. You think they'll just do one actress for both roles, or like a different She-Hulk?
They should get like a. I don't know. They should get like a. See, that goes back to like when they did Wonder Woman. Like I always thought like Gal Gadot was not like a Wonder Woman-esque chick that they should have got. I thought they should have got like a like more of a. Like a body, like all right. You remember how Xena the Warrior Princess looked like? You believe that she could whoop up on a dude.
That's
and
true.
Like she was an Amazon, and you could believe it. To me, like Gal Gadot's more like I just see the chick from Fast and the Furious every time. Like it's like, I guess it works, but
it worked for me. It's surprisingly it worked out really well. She was pretty believable.
Yeah, she did pull it off, and it's like, and I guess that's like the thing that goes back to like. Don't pass judgment on something before you see it or whatever, because like the same thing could be said about Heath Ledger when they cast him as a Joker. Everybody was mad because they were like the Heath Ledger, the joke. No way! And like I can remember it to this day, like how people were seriously mad that he was going to be the Joker, and then when he did it and pulled it off and just knocked it out of the park, people were like, oh, I never said that. I no. What are you talking about? He was great. I was behind him the whole way.
Yeah. You never know what an actor's gonna pull off. Just whatever they did in their last role might not be the next role. But I do feel you on like these superhero chicks. They're real dainty. Like even Brie Larson, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Who I think that was a miscast and a half.
Yeah.
She's like a little skinny pickle too. Yeah.
Like I don't believe like she could do something. I don't know. They just like it's like I understand like the coolest chick I've seen dressed up like as a hero so far is what's it, Ruby Red or whatever, dressed up as Batwoman.
Mm.
You seen that?
Okay.
Have you seen her? Oh man.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go look at, if y'all have not seen that, go look at that. Ruby Red or was it Ruby Red or I forgot her name, but the chick that used to be on Orange is the New Black. Go check that chick out dressed up as Batwoman, and I'm telling you,
I never really seen her in motion. Like I seen pictures, still images, but I never seen her like moving around.
no, go look at it. I think they got like footage of her and stuff, but like I'm telling you, like she looks cool as like her character or whatever. And it's like I could believe that, you know. It's like, and some of it is like believability is part of it for me. It's like, okay, like when the X-Men came out back in 2000, I wasn't one that was like against them coming out with like, you know, the black leather suits or whatever. I was like, okay, I can see where it'd be kind of hard for them to come out busting out and you know, like spandex, you know, like Wolverine wearing his yellow and black and blue spandex with the hoodie thing on, and then, you know, Colossus or whoever having their, you know, I can understand that, you know, just one monotone color, you know, this is the X-Men. So, okay, whatever. So, same thing.
Like they didn't have enough mobility in those suits, though. They look like stiff, you know?
Yeah.
In the black.
But, like, yeah, so it's just like, you know, it's those things that, you know, to me, like, some of it can change how you look at stuff, and some of it, you know, can affect certain things, like, you know, it could affect the price of the book that they're representing, or it could, you know, change the way that, you know, that they're perceived in the book in the future, because they might actually change the character because the movie sells or whatever and change it into the book. So
yeah. I mean, I hope, like, as far as those X-Men suits, I think these recent superhero movies in Marvel Universe has proven that you can do comic faithful costumes and pull it off. Like, look at Deadpool. Deadpool looks like straight up out of the comics.
Oh yeah.
So, like, they can do it. Like, I think it's a disappointment that we, through all those Hugh Jackman movies, we never once got a mask on his ass. Damn.
No, wait. The whole, like, the Deadpool thing, what I find funny is like he pulls off the eye thing, like the white eye thing. So I come to you with this. Batman. Can we get a Batman movie where he's got the eye
with the white eyes, right?
Yeah, yes.
I know. You would think that he would have it. Like,
yeah, because like if you've never noticed that every Batman movie you can see his eyes.
Yeah, Batman wouldn't let his eyes be seen like that, and it just makes him look more badass with the white.
Yeah.
They finally got to the point where I like what they did with the Ben Affleck one with the voice modulator in the cowl.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That way you have to grunt like a dummy, like Christian Bale was doing. That Dark Knight is almost a flawless movie for me. But one of the flaws is Christian Bale, the Batman voice, dude. I don't know, man. It bothers me a little bit. So I like that little voice change. It was cool.
Oh yeah. Well, you got anything going on this week coming up or anything?
Yeah, man. The auction Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Be there. I made a video earlier today with a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna be putting up. So check it out, people's different books, variants, slabs, the whole 9 yards. Check it out this Saturday.
Let me give a quick shout out to Gills. What is up? Dig Kingdom. Mr. Gretzky again. Joe, what is up? Really Grod. And yeah, so that's good. Everybody check out the auction coming up this Saturday. And Friday, tomorrow, the hunt. We're going to have Berknasty is going to be the guest, and we will be doing the hunt tomorrow. So, and I'll be trying to go watch Endgame.
Nice.
So this has been What's Your Grail? I'm your host, Tony Sanders. And once again, my special guest, ComicHead84.
Thanks for having me, bro.
And thanks for coming on, man. Again, people, y'all have a good night and good seeing y'all, man.